Welcome, everybody, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim, and so glad to be part of your life right now and bringing you here in your ears. But before I go even further into your ear, I want to say I have a very special guest star. I know every time I say I've got a special guest star, but this time I mean it. This time I have a very special guest star.
He's not messing around.
It's Mark Bodenhamer with the Sonoma Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Hey, Tim. How you doing?
I'm great, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm very excited to have you in my ear, as you say so sensually.
I'm in your head, Mark.
Cool. Thanks for having me. This is great. I'm excited.
I want to point out that you are, even though you're on the #1 podcast in Sonoma Valley, you're the host of the #1 radio show in Sonoma Valley.
According to the numbers that I make up, it is blowing everybody else away.
It is.
Thursdays at 11, 91.3
at 11.
KSVY.org.
And people can listen, they listen online, Thursdays at 11, and you always have different guests on.
Yeah.
So it's basically, I totally ripped off the concept of your radio show.
Right.
Well, and made a podcast.
How business works. You just repurpose and steal and take it for yourself. So, we had a great show yesterday. We had Pangloss sellers on. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a little bit. Who else did we have? It was a very wine-themed episode.
Can you imagine that?
I know. Who would have thought? We also had Adriana and Laura from the Vintners and Growers talking about Vintage Fest. And then who is our middle guest?
You guys do 3 guests?
Well, we normally do 2, but yesterday was La Prenda. We had Ned Hill, and that was a great segment. He's just so Sonoma Valley. He's a farmer, he's a grower, and then they happen to start making wines.
They just so happen to have all these grapes lying around.
Why not? So now they're doing really cool, creative things. Opened up a tasting room on the Plaza.
He had time to come. Like, was he full of grape skins and running over here?
He was.
He's a farmer.
Yeah, definitely. He was tired. He's getting a couple hours of sleep a night. He's wearing the same thing, and I saw him on there, and we were kind of talking about how it was farmer clothes, and we had a ribbon cutting for them later in the day, and he said, "Guess what? This is what I'm going to be wearing at the ribbon cutting too."
Same boots, same everything.
Life of a farmer.
I do have to tell you that I was stuck in a Sonoma traffic jam today.
Yeah.
So I was coming over from Petaluma, coming into work.
Yep.
And I got stuck one behind a slower driver. That happens a fair amount going up Stagecoach. And then we got stuck behind 2 grape tractors.
Perfect.
On Watma, the entire length, go about 50 miles an hour.
It actually makes me happy when that happens.
Well, I was like, this is Sonoma Parade. I'm going to let it go, man.
For sure.
So it was really fun.
Yeah.
And I got to see them.
Yeah. And it's such an exciting time of year. I love harvest here. Even when you get stuck behind a truck, going slow, it's what we're here to do.
Gives you time to think.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
You mentioned repurpose. I'm going to mention something, Mark. Reporpoise.
Oh,
this was in the paper today.
Well done, Tim.
Thank you. A harbor porpoise wandered into the Petaluma River. So that's the Petaluma River. First of all, it's not actually a river; it's a slough.
Yeah,
they made it a river so they could dredge it in the 50s. It's a tidal slough.
We're going to get highly technical here if we're doing slough versus river and porpoise versus dolphin.
I don't know the difference.
I don't.
But check this out.
One of them you can make purpose jokes, and the other one you can't. You can't say on dolphin.
You cannot make any. I did tell my kids every Thanksgiving we have the ongoing joke that we have dolphin safe cranberries because the dolphin cranberry bog, the cranberry bog dolphins. That you ever see this onion? It's really funny. The whole joke is about these cranberry bogs grow are like 4 feet deep in water.
Yeah.
So it's always make sure if you're buying cranberries, they're dolphin safe. Because every year 500 dolphins end up dead on the Thanksgiving table.
I always think it's such a funny thing on the can of tuna is that it's like it's dolphin safe, and it's like, well, what about the poor tunas? Like, can you imagine if you're a tuna and you saw that?
We don't care about
what gives?
We don't care.
Anyway,
so a harbor porpoise was seen Tuesday morning in the Petaluma River.
That's exciting.
A clinical psychologist. Her name is Stephanie Disney. She saw it. And she was just taking a walk there along the Petaluma River, which is about 20 minutes away from Sonoma here.
Okay.
And she saw a fin coming out of the water.
Stephanie Disney saw a harbor porpoise in the Petaluma River. You're telling? Am I on? I guess I am on camera.
She's a clinical psychologist.
I don't know.
And then customers at the cafe gathered around to see what was going on.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Were you around in the area when we had the whale that kind of went up into the river?
Humphrey, the humpback whale.
Right.
I'm actually older than you. I think I'm older than you.
Yeah, I think so. But much like older. By a scant couple of months, maybe.
Yeah, so I
just didn't know if you were in the area and if that was newsworthy where you were.
No, that was. Can you tell us about it? Because what do you remember about it?
I was young. I mean, I just remember there being a whale that had wandered up into the bay, and then I think actually got up into the Petaluma River for a little bit.
He went to Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
He was actually running for office, I believe. It was Humphrey, the humpback whale.
Got it.
He got into the bay. Valley.
Yeah.
So Sonoma Valley does drain as part of our watershed into that area.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Humphrey's like, I'm going to go check out San Francisco. Yeah. And then he saw some stuff he wanted to change on a statewide level.
Yeah.
And he went to Sacramento.
It's got my vote.
And so then all these people were like, and this is like the 80s, they're like, how could we turn him around? How can we get Humphrey to go back?
Right.
They actually started playing just like bad Motley Crue and stuff like that. And
Humphrey's cool though.
He stuck around.
Motley Crue.
I know. He stuck around.
Go.
He's
girls,
like,
let's do this.
They should have played Great
Humphrey's
White.
down to party.
They should have played once bitten, twice shy or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so that was Humphrey.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's the porpoise.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
what's going on.
That's no, I'm not going to do it. I was going to make a purpose joke, but I refuse.
You're not going to make a purpose joke?
No.
Not on purpose?
Not.
Okay.
No.
We have a bunch of events going on. Some of these are in order, some of these are not. How do you want to handle these?
I don't know. Let's just... Well, I see the top of my stack is your thing. Let's talk about that real quick, because that's a big deal. That's
Headliner.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, it's this one.
Oh, the lighting of the plaza.
Yeah, that's such a big deal. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, okay, so that's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and that's when there's hundreds of thousands of billions of lights that we put up on the plaza.
Sure.
On the Saturday before Thanksgiving, we do the big lighting event ceremony.
Yeah.
Starts at 5 o'clock. There's music.
Yeah.
There's food. There's wine. There's beer.
There's festiveness. Festivity.
There's
convivial
times.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
it's a beautiful event. You guys do a really great job on that. It's a really
you.
Cool thing, and it's special for the community, and it's a great thing for guests to come and check out.
They do it. It's funny because I want to mention that like that's our one big event that we do.
Yeah.
And it's stressful, and I always like seeing you having a good time as I'm stressing out. You're drinking your hand like, good job, Tim.
Yep.
You're doing great.
That's how I roll.
But you guys put on the farmers market.
Yeah, well, sort of. I mean, the city really puts it on. We kind of coordinate with them a little bit. We're out there every week doing our wine booth and things like that. But
Mark, come on. You got big shoulders.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Okay.
The city climbs
up. We do, yeah. They just pretend to do work.
You go out and you pick the zucchini.
Exactly.
How many more of those farmers markets?
There are 2 more. There's the 20th and the 27th of September.
So it ends in October.
Yeah. Well, it ends in September.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there are none. And, yes, correct. It runs May through September is the wise way of saying it.
Because the reason why I bring that up, the big event happening.
Yeah.
October 1st is the official opening of pumpkin spice season.
Oh, boy.
Did you know about this?
It is time to go.
I
did not know that there was an official thing. Is that like the government has weighed in on this? And,
it's an act of Congress. Well, it's tied up in Congress.
Yeah.
But it's an act of Congress. But I have the history. Can I read it to you? The history of the Starbucks pumpkin latte.
Yeah.
Early in 2003, Peter Dukes and a small team gathered in the Liquid Lab, a secure research and development space that was a cross between a chef's kitchen and a scientist's playground at the Starbucks Support Center. So this guy, Pete, this is from the archives of Starbucks.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Really?
It's archive.starbucks.com.
So now, are they claiming, and maybe they were they the originators of the whole pumpkin spice thing? Like, did pumpkin spice
everyone knows
really exist before?
Pumpkin spice was invented at the first Thanksgiving.
Right, yeah.
When the Native Americans and the European colonists were like, hey, this is going to work out.
Right.
So let's invent pumpkin spice.
Let's dye it orange, make it extra sweet, and...
So, no, this is the birth of the latte, which I think arguably saw pumpkin spice explode.
Oh, this was the birth of the latte. No.
Yeah.
Well, lattes this was the birth of the pumpkin spice latte.
It's like the peanut butter in my chocolate in my peanut butter. It's like, hey, I'm going to put pumpkin spice in my latte.
Totally.
So,
okay.
So like
this is the Reese's peanut butter cup of coffee and gourds.
They had already done this group, this skunk works of scientists had already done the eggnog latte and the peppermint mocha.
Yeah.
So they had the technology.
Yeah.
They were like, guys, hold on. We did this for eggnog and peppermint and probably Easter.
Man.
So we got to figure out
what they unleashed on the world.
You ready for it? So yeah, in 2004 they rolled it out.
Yeah.
They rolled it out.
Goodness.
And
thank God these scientists were doing this and not, trying to cure cancer or something. What a benefit for the world. Look at this list. Pumpkin spice spam.
Yeah. Ooh. That's some stuff people have come out with. Pumpkin spice spam. Pumpkin spice Oreos.
I already told you the one that I just saw, and now I've forgotten. Oh, It's It. There's a pumpkin spice It's It, which is another Bay Area treat.
That's true, invented in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's an oatmeal cookie sandwich with ice cream in the middle, and man, it's glorious.
Is the pumpkin spice in the ice cream?
I think it's going to just be the ice cream. That would be my guess.
It's not like a pumpkin spice rolled in pumpkin spice chocolate or something.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm clearly going to need to do some research on this, but I believe it's like the other variants of the It's It. So the It's It is always chocolate dipped oatmeal cookie with ice cream in the middle.
Vanilla
and then there's the mint one, which is just mint.
Heresy.
There's a coffee one. There's a chocolate
one. Coffee I actually like.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm an original guy. I'm big on the vanilla.
Look at this one. Do you like cup of noodles? Remember in college?
My daughter just ate one last night. Yeah.
Oh, you're cooking for your kid again, huh, Mark?
Exactly.
You're like, hey, hon,
I made like a nice,
water.
delicious dinner with like, vegetables and things. And she looks at me and goes, can I have cup of noodle? And I was like, it's fine.
You're fine. So cup of noodle has pumpkin spice flavor.
Yeah.
You saw the Spam.
Yeah. Oh, I saw the Spam. I'm actually a Spam advocate.
Are you? You're pro Spam?
Yeah, I am. I make Spam fried rice. I'll do, when I go to Hawaii, I'll make like Spam hash things.
Big thing
in the
there in the Pacific Islands.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know that. We should next time I bring you back. Because, by the way,
Spam cook-off.
You're a boomerang guest, and thanks for coming back.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And even though it was awful the last time we got in a fight and there's blood everywhere. No, but we should do the Spam.
Let's do it.
Pumpkin spice butter. Land O'Lakes. Here's my favorite. My two favorite, and I'll move on. Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart pumpkin spice CBD wellness gummies.
Man, Martha's got her hands in everything. She's a shark.
Her, like perfectly manicured pumpkin spice hands are in CBD gummies.
What a life that woman's had. I mean, you look at like the span and like literally doing time, and now she's hanging with Snoop Dogg making CBD pumpkin spice gummies.
But could you see these?
And,
like she's in her Connecticut kitchen, like rolling these little guys and pushing them in the molds.
That is,
and doing stuff.
She's on near the top of my list of if I could hang out with some celebrity. Really? I mean,
I'll get her in here.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do it.
All right, next month on Sonoma Spiel. You heard it here.
Okay, so we have some more events.
Yeah, we have lots of cool stuff coming. This is a great time of year. I mean, we mentioned harvest. That that's drives everything here, right?
Right.
The grapes start. They do their thing. They turn some colors. Now they're and now it's time to pull them all in and turn them into wine.
Right.
And it's exciting here, and we're just about to get all the fall colors out in the vineyard. That's just a magical time to be here. We've got, there's a slew of events.
A slew? A river?
Yes. Is that spelled the same? Is it the same word? Same etymology?
Doesn't matter.
We have a gosh load. What's the nice way of saying that?
A ton.
Yeah, a ton. We have, can I say hella?
You can say hella.
We have hella.
That's a very Northern California
It is,
word.
yeah. We have hella events coming up.
Yep.
What should we talk about first?
Well, should we go? I see you've got a bunch of wine events here, and then I'll just jump in. So why don't you start with the first one on your list?
Cool. So this is coming up. I don't even know when this is. When is our podcast coming out?
Nobody knows.
Okay, great. Well, if this comes out before September 23rd and 24th, you should go check out Pangloss's 7th anniversary party. So Pangloss Cellars right there on the Plaza, one of the more beautiful tasting rooms we have here in Sonoma. Just a magical spot. And not only the wines are great and the location's great, but just really cool people that work there too. Leslie and Ryan. Of course. And they just had a little feature on Ethan on their social media today. Just up and down the whole list. Everybody's cool, great wine. So they're celebrating 7 years on the Plaza, 23rd and 24th, 6 to 9 p.m. So that's a thing happening in Sonoma after 7:30 p.m.
Wait a minute. Did we have to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals for that?
So that's exciting.
Okay.
Pretty pumped about that.
And then I see something at Bartholomew Estate. What's that?
They're doing Harvest
Really
Vineyard.
smart.
If you put those two words together, it's like the pumpkin spice of those two words. Harvest Vineyard tours, and you can still do tastings on the Oak Knoll. And that's another place where you can go and see the foliage turning. Great spot for looking at nature all the time. There's hiking trails.
Right.
The mustard looks great there in the January, February months. And then right now, when the leaves start turning, that's a great time.
It's beautiful. And Bartholomew Estate also has a park attached to it. So it's a winery and then also like a private park, but it's open to the public.
Yeah. Great spot to check out. Good wines too. Good. Keep rolling down the list here. Larson Family Wines, great location down there in the kind of Shellville, Carneros area. They've got their 35th Harvest Party on the 9th of October. Okay. And they're starting a pumpkin patch, which is a tradition they do there too. So that's always, everybody likes a good
There's
pumpkin
patch. There's going to be pumpkin patches up and down the valley. I think Oak Hill Farm in Glen Ellen's going to have a pumpkin patch coming up too as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to have one at my house.
Sweet.
I didn't get any pumpkins this year. I planted 3 different types.
Yeah.
All died.
Oh, really?
That's why I have to go to the pumpkin patch.
I got mine late. I had intended to put them in when the tomatoes were done. The tomatoes are still making tomatoes.
They're going crazy.
So I have 42 tomatoes on my counter that I need to figure out what
that
to
are
do
on their way to becoming compost.
Exactly.
As we speak.
What else do we have? Klein Cellars is doing a grape stomp and harvest party on the 9th of October. So
have you done a grape stomp?
I've never done that. Have you?
I have. I was a promo for the for the Vintage Festival, which is coming up. So Vintage Festival, we were talking to Andriana a while ago.
October 7th and 8th?
Yep.
Right here in Sonoma Valley.
In the beautiful Sonoma Plaza. But the grape stomp is so funny to watch people like squishing, and trying to get as much juice as they can out.
Yeah. And if you want to, we'll turn away from Sonoma a second. Have you seen the grape stomp video on YouTube where the lady falls?
That was an early viral video.
It may be the first viral video.
It was one of them, like Charlie bit my finger, and then that lady, and she just takes a header.
It's so good.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I know, it's awful. But
where is she now?
I don't know.
I should get her as a guest right after Martha Stewart.
There we go. Maybe get them together and see what happens. Blessing of the Animals. That's coming up at St. Francis. So St. Francis Winery is up in the Kenwood, Santa Rosa area. They have an annual thing on, I think it's always the beginning of October. So they bless animals. St. Francis is, I think, the patron saint of animals.
Yes. He founded the PETA.
Oh, great.
Or maybe the ASPCA.
Yeah, he was the first person to throw blood on somebody wearing a fur coat. Good for him.
That's right. Take that, you Roman, or whatever. Yeah.
So it's at St. Francis Winery. Okay. They will be doing an event, the Blessing of the Animal. So they have
can bring an animal?
Cool, you can bring an animal and have it blessed by somebody.
I have 3 cursed cats. Can I leave them?
I don't think that works.
Throw holy water on these things, they disappear. I knew it.
That's a different event. That's at Tim's house. We'll get the address and put that. It'll be underneath us on this video.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
In October as well, Weekend Along the Farm Trails is happening.
Ooh.
This is October 8th and 9th. So let's say you came for a super harvest event.
Yeah.
You went to the Vintage Festival October 7th and 8th in the Plaza, you did the Grape Stomp. Farm Trails is this group of farms actually throughout Sonoma County where you can go there and see how they grow stuff, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
They do spring, they do barnyard babies and bees or something like that, and blossoms. And then in fall, we do the kind of like pumpkin spice version. It's like gourds and goats.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of
sounds cool
alliteration and as so you can learn about beekeeping, flower growing, make flower crowns. So if you want a crown, it's cool. I've seen you go around the plaza a few times with a crown on.
Usually I just go with the one tucked behind my ear, but that's,
I love the way you do the interpretive dance by the fountain.
That's always fun.
And then you can see how cheese is made.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. And
really, let's just pause for a second and talk about just October or like the roughly October time period.
Yes.
I think a lot of people think like, visitor season is June, July, and August. That's the summer. That's when everybody travels.
Traditional
But for those of you who are not in this area, I just can't stress enough what a great time October, November is to come and experience Sonoma Valley. I mean, it is a truly magical time. You've got the energy of harvest. It'll kind of be wrapping up by then. It seems like this year we're a little early. But so much excitement and so much happening and beautiful weather. And now the menus are all turning to kind of fall menus and so many cool things happening.
The menus just kind of turn yellow and golden and orange.
Totally. Yeah, the summer menu wilts and kind of slowly.
The turning of the menus. Falls. We should do that.
We should.
You're right. Actually, October, November, especially in other parts of the country, November gets cold and frosty.
Yeah.
And here it just gets nice.
Everywhere else stinks, and our place is cool. That's my official synopsis. So come check out Sonoma Valley in October, late September, October, November. I mean, that whole time period, like you said, it's still great here. The leaves, when the grapevines have that kind of magical jewelly stuff happening with yellows and purples and reds. I mean, it's just, I'm blown away every year.
It is magical.
It's really cool.
All right, you got something else here, I think, from Valley Bar and Bottle.
Yeah. So a couple things. Number one, they're expanding their breakfast menu. This is a great little small family-owned business. Great, exciting culinary expertise there, right on the plaza. So fall menus are starting November 1st. They're expanding their breakfast menu, and then they're launching this collaborative dinner series. And it's a tightly guarded secret, but they have just announced that the first one.
Can we talk about this?
Oh, we can. Yeah.
Oh,
we can. Yeah. Just this one though. We can't talk about the other ones. Otherwise, we have to kill everybody that listens to this.
Both of them.
Hi,
Mom
my
and
dear
Dad.
Mom. She had a good run.
Hi, Mrs. Bodenhamer.
This one we can actually talk about without murdering anybody. This is November 7th, and they're doing this in partnership with Flour and Water, which is a restaurant down in San Francisco, a highly regarded one. So it's kind of like collaborative with their chefs or their people and kind of partnering together. And the Valley team, they're so creative, so their menus are changing, pretty much every day that they open. So it's a great time time for them to kind of perfect example of a restaurant that is
it's like a chef from there coming up here,
something like that. Yeah, I don't have all of the details, but it's basically it's a partnership, collaborative dinner thing, and they've just opened up their new space upstairs, so you can.
I was asking about. I see people up there.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, it's a really cool spot.
It's unlike anything else.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got a great vibe.
Have you been up there?
I have. Yeah.
Oh, you're one of those guys, huh?
Yeah. I'm an upstairs guy.
I was just in the park.
Secret knock.
I know, like, how do those guys get up there? Where's the staircase?
Oh, man.
What's going on over at Three Sticks?
Three Sticks, home for the harvest, October 14th and 15th. They've got a bunch of great, culinary experts bringing some food and local businesses that'll be showing off their products. And then you can taste through their Chardonnays and Pinots, those are things they're kind of famous for.
Right.
But that's also when they're going to release the new Castagnata blend. So
I was wondering what that is.
Yeah, so Castagnata, you'll probably recognize it. It comes in the little squatty bottle. And so it's a different shape thing. It's kind of a second line that they do, but they make some really great wines. There's a rosé that comes out in the spring. Then right now they're releasing, I know the red. I think it's just the red. So that's the Castagnata red blend. It's a field blend from Durrell Vineyards, which is a really highly regarded vineyard. So Syrah, Grenache, Marsanne, Viognier, all kinds of Rhone-style things.
That's funny because the name Castagnata, I thought it would be like a Spanish thing.
Right.
But I'll have to look this up.
So Castagnata is, I think, the name of the person for whom that adobe was built. The historic.
Okay, so this is not the name of the blend.
Correct. Well, it is the name of the blend, but it's named
not like
after the building.
Okay, I got you. This isn't like a European style blend.
Correct. Right. It's a Rhone style blend.
Thank you.
Named for a winery that is in a building.
Mark just bought like a new wine turn to me. I'm like, I have been in this business for a while. Shoot.
So anyway, highly recommend that one. All their Castagnata blends are really cool. There's a rosé, a white, and then the red is released here on October 14th and 15th. So that'll be fun.
I see you've also got on here, which is cool, at the community center. People, speaking of Halloween, community center was this beautiful, is a beautiful building that was an elementary school at one time. And it was a stand-in during Scream as the high school. Right. Because it looks like a classic American high school. Yeah. And what are they doing over there at the community center?
Well, we'll talk Scream in a second. But community center is hosting a build-your-own pizza oven event.
Wait, build your own pizza oven?
Correct. Like literally a pizza oven that you would have in your yard that you can do. So it's like bricklaying.
What?
And, well, I think you go and you learn how to build this in your yard. Yes, one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like
you could build two if you need.
Because they do events like paper mache masks.
Right, totally.
And so I always thought you build it and take it home, but this would be pretty substantial.
This would be, I think you sit and watch somebody build it, probably outside, like in the secret garden or maybe near their the space where they have the kiln for the bigger ceramics projects.
Take out the mugs, like, it's now a pizza oven. It's not a kiln. Yeah. It's an oven. It's a forno.
But it's really cool. It's not, so this one's going to cost a couple of bucks. It's September 24th and 25th, 10 to 4. There's a break for lunch. So it's a 2-day long thing where you actually learn how to build your own pizza oven. And so it's kind of a nice thing for people in our community. So many people are, growing figs and have access to, local family farms where you can get farm fresh produce and meats and things. And a lot of people, like making pizzas. So
this is amazing. It's just coincidental that I'm hosting in my backyard, build your own back deck.
Oh.
So if people could show up with some power tools and some wood,
that's great.
They could learn how to build a back deck.
Maybe that's just the staff at the community center wanted a pizza oven. They're like, how can we do this?
What's the best way to do this? All right. I see, in addition to events, you brought some new wines that are being released. What's going on there?
So a couple exciting ones that some of our friends around the community center. So did you know October is Merlot month?
I did not know that, but happy Merlot month a couple weeks early.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know the official Merlot month song and dance, but
I thought it was, it's time for March in Merlot. We're doing it in March. So I use International Merlot month, and that must be National Merlot month.
I think so.
And, don't get me started on
Somebody made it up and put it on the internet, so just roll with it, Tim. So St. Francis is releasing their 2019 Reserve Merlot.
They have good Merlot.
Yeah, they really do. This one got great ratings. Okay. Stone Farm is releasing their Estate Cabernet.
Okay.
And quick mention, listeners of this podcast.
Wait. Plug alert.
Special deal.
Alert. Special deal alert.
This isn't about me or Stonage. This is about your listeners.
Go.
They're getting a special. If you mention this podcast, you get 50% off of a tasting at 139 Lounge, which is their tasting room right there on 139 East Napa, where Edge, the dining facility is. They're open Thursdays through Saturdays, mostly in the afternoon.
Wait, 50% off tasting if they mention this podcast.
That's right.
Sonoma Spiel.
Yeah, there you go.
Mark, you bring value to the spiel.
Yeah.
Amazing. Good job.
I'm saving people all kinds of money. They've got great dinners there too at Edge, so check them out. Farm fresh stuff. Also, Pangloss is releasing their Sparkling Brut Rosé and their Appreciation White Blend. So that's good. And then they have new caviar boards and updated cheese and charcuterie boards.
Oh, good.
At Pangloss. And we already talked about 3 Sticks.
You ever done caviar at home?
Have I done caviar like at my house?
Like at home, you're like, I'm going to do a caviar board.
I have not. I'm not much of a caviar guy. I mean, I'll when it's served to me, I eat it and I pretend like, oh, this is better than that last one, but not as good as this one I had.
Caviar and like charcuterie are two things that I never, ever, ever have done at home ever.
No. Well,
but when I'm out being offered,
yes, I'll do charcuterie boards at home.
No, Mark, I'm not talking about opening bologna and eating it. I'm literally talking about.
You mean
do that? Because I do charcuterie at home too. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing."
Fistful of salami.
I love it. But like the beautifully made charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Or like a neat little caviar tasting.
Yeah.
It's just something I bet you I could learn, but for some reason I don't do it ever.
It just feels
it's awesome when you're out.
Yeah. Right. You know? I think it's one of those things that you're better off just have somebody else do it for you.
It's special. Let someone else do it. Like build you a pizza oven, for example.
Right. Exactly.
You know? Yeah. You got some new eats, and I'm excited about some of this.
Yeah. So one of the cool things that's happening now, here in the Valley, Wit and Wisdom. So they opened up, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, would you say?
Time has become very odd.
Yeah. Sometime between yesterday and 1944.
I think they opened in 2021 the first time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, somewhere in there. Anyway, a relatively new endeavor. So at the Lodge at Sonoma, which is a fabulous hotel right in the heart of town, they had previously a restaurant there, but then it was rebranded. It's now a part of the Michael Mina family of restaurants.
That's a good spot.
And it's called Wit and Wisdom, has some really cool Jack London themed drinks and some great menu items. They're now open for brunch on Saturdays and Sundays.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I haven't been there. We need more brunch places here in the Valley.
We do. And maybe we should do a live podcast. From brunch.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do a live podcast. I think that's just two guys talking.
Hey, we should do Bloody Marys at the Wit and Wisdom, Mark. That's what I'm trying to gun for you.
I like it. And when you're done with your brunch there, they've just renovated the spa. Have you been there since they renovated?
I have not been in the spa. I've seen them under construction, and then I was talking to the GM over there, and I've seen. I was there, because I kind of creep on visitors.
Sure,
I was there drinking coffee by the pool, and a woman came out and said, "That's the most beautiful spa ever." Yeah. And I'm like, wow, this is like an ad.
They did a great job. There. Yeah, it looks really nice, very serene. There's kind of a whole garden area with it has its own like special pools and little hot tubs and things.
I know you live nearby. Were you invited there, or did you sneak over the fence?
Oh, I just hopped the fence. Rode my bike with baseball cards in the tire over there, hopped the fence.
Yelled at your kid, make some cup of noodle. I'm going to the
your own kid. No. When they announced the renovation, reopened it, we just went and did a quick little tour, just looked around, and it was very brief, but boy, they did a nice job. It's a great little retail shop where you can buy some products, and again, just a super serene vibe, and it's 3 minutes from the Plaza, right? So great spot.
And a lot of bikes. I see a lot of people stay there, get free bikes, so I see them going up and down all the time.
Well, not like as a handout. It's not like a dish that you help yourself do free bikes.
Right. While you're there,
you may use the bikes.
To the free cruiser bikes.
Yeah. But those are fun. It's great seeing them around town. Not only does that mean that we're saving the earth and reducing traffic and all of those things, but people are having fun, and people always have a blast doing that. And we have the beautiful new Sonoma bike lanes, the safest bike lanes in the world, 42 feet wide.
They're not 42 feet. If you weren't driving your 75 Cadillac Eldorado or whatever.
Bumping
whatever
it. Speaking of snoop, it's a 64 Impala. Me and Martha are going to be rolling down.
You guys are like in there, like 12 people in the back. You're funny.
No, it is. It's cool seeing them riding around town. Right.
And stopping at a lot of shops. Right. I always see them parked in front of Palm, the cider shop. They're going around. But that's okay. So you can get brunch at
Wit and Wisdom. Yeah. And then we already mentioned Valley. They've got their expanded breakfast. So that'll be, I think, kind of like a weekday breakfast with like some bagels and things like that. Good. So kind of quick pickup, which is great. We need more of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Also want to mention Il Fuoco Pizza. So they have pizza delivery, and that's one thing that I heard somebody in the community. I'm going to correct them here on the show and take them to task for this. They said, I like Il Fuoco, but they don't deliver. So it turns out they do.
They do deliver.
Yeah. So if
does
you're
Rob hop in his truck? I've seen him in his truck that says Il Fuoco.
Yeah. No. I don't think it's Rob. Okay. And Rob's
he's probably cooking.
Rob makes great pizza, but you don't want Rob bringing you the pizza. You do the delivery through DoorDash, actually. And that's how most pizza delivery is done right now. There used to be everybody had their own fleet and they paid drivers, but
30
then
minutes
we were
or less.
Right. Now it's just like it's so much easier to.
It's like some
DoorDash
other guy.
Do it. So even some of the other pizza places that you know of, they just do it all through DoorDash. So anyway, or you can do pickup there, right there in Springs, kind of near.
They have a window right on the street right there.
Great spot to sit and kind of watch the world go by while you're having the pizza. Just awesome stuff. They just launched a peach, Spanish red peach pizza that's really good. It's got some cheese on there too.
Okay.
That was pretty yummy. And anyway, like you said, good spot. Sit there.
If you bring one of the 47 tomatoes on your counter there, can you do a thing like you bring a tomato and
BYOT?
BYOT, and they're like, hold on, I think they whip it up into pizza?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
We'll have to ask. And then also heading a little further up valley in the Springs, Sonoma Eats new location. They're rocking and rolling.
It's great. I
haven't been there yet.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. And Ephraim, the owner, he was saying, you need to promote me. I'm like, how about we get through the first couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Because he's like, why? I don't think people are going to show up. I'm like, Ephraim, your food is so good.
Right.
People are going to show up.
Yeah.
And after the first day of opening, he's like, that was nuts. The line was out the door. We're figuring it out, but it's calmed down there. I love what he calls the Mexican hummus, which is it is actually like a pumpkin seed, pumpkin spice, but it's like a pumpkin seed thing. It's really good.
Oh.
It's really good. I forgot the Mexican word for it. It's like a native Mexican dish.
Got it.
That's from Oaxaca area, and it's really good.
Huh.
You just slather it with stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
But Sonoma Eats is really good.
I had no idea that pumpkin things could be used in culinary. I thought there was just
actually, because a lot of people would just distill them into lattes directly,
right.
Or butter.
Turns out pumpkin is a real thing that grows and is edible.
Pumpkins lead me though. I got some stuff here about. Can I just talk about like Halloween?
Let's talk about Halloween
and what's going on because over at Delicious,
warm your chainsaws up, people.
Say that word.
Delicious dish.
Thank you. Delicious dish. The Human Torch was denied. Okay, so the Delicious Dish is doing
New York.
It's doing a dinner and a movie and a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Saturday, October 22nd, and it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre theme.
I wish I had a sound bar that I could hit the button and make a chainsaw. Yeah. Do you think I can do that on my phone quickly enough? I think the moment will have passed.
Hold on there, the air conditioning just kicked on. We'll see if the mic can pick it up.
There's a chainsaw that's muted, people. That's what you're hearing.
So go ahead.
Saturday, October 26th. Doors open at 6 o'clock p.m. Delicious dish, fabulous food,
great
cool
food.
Location. Is it at the location?
I think it's at the location.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But check this out. It says
menu looks great.
The ultimate pro-vegetarian film due to its animal rights themes.
I like it.
Writers and directors have given up meat after viewing it. Think about that.
Ooh.
The menu includes meatloaf, macaroni, and this is head cheese. But okay, hold macaroni and cheese. Leather-faced strawberry cupcakes. Probably never going to be invited back to that kid's birthday party again.
Right.
Don't take this too seriously. The audience will be nauseous. No money back.
And let's just, for people who don't know Delicious Dish, these things all sound terrible, but they're going to taste amazing.
They're really good.
The name Delicious Dish actually does explain what's happening there. It's not just a clever name.
Even if I can't pronounce it. Mark, I want to get into two final things.
Yeah.
One, I got a question here. I don't think it's a question we got on Facebook. So some people, there's this thing called Facebook.
Oh, really?
And oftentimes people ask questions.
Okay.
One of the questions, it's from a woman named Sue. And Sue says...
Hey, Sue.
Hey, Sue. We are going to be visiting...
Are we sure it's a woman?
This person whose name is Sue...
It could be a boy named Sue.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right. That was written by Shel Silverstein.
Oh, really?
He literally wrote that. Johnny Cash performed it.
Man.
And yeah.
Shel Silverstein.
What a guy. What a guy.
Shel Silverstein and Martha Stewart. I say we dedicate the show to those two.
I think so.
And Johnny Cash.
All of the above.
Johnny, yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
So here's a question from someone named Sue. We are going to be visiting your beautiful wine region the week of September 26th. Happy face. Being from the Midwest, capitalized, and never having been out to this area, we could definitely use some direction. Looking for vineyards with whites and reds. Breweries along the way would be lovely as well. Any must-dos? Do I need reservations for wine tastings? Good places with scenic views for dinner. That's from the Sonoma County Wine Imbibers.
Great questions. So let's start with do I need reservations for wine tastings? Because that's something that I think I would like to address. That is one of the big changes that happened in COVID. And it was kind of starting to happen pre-COVID. But now that really is, that went from, maybe consider it to that is strongly recommended.
Highly recommended, especially on weekends.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And especially if you have more than, say, 4 people.
Do not roll up with a bachelorette party thinking you're going to get a seat.
Ain't going to happen.
Right.
The flip side of that, though, is we've kind of shifted the business model a little bit around here, and it's gone from the sort of feeding frenzy, fight your way up to the bar,
Golden Corral method.
To now it's a little bit more curated. It's a little slower, but you get like real cool education. Experience. You're meeting people. Yeah, it's an experience, and it's something of value, and so you'll end up. You do need to make a reservation. That's a little bit difficult. You spend a couple more dollars, but boy, the experience is really cool. I mean, then you're getting personalized service. You're learning something. And we have so many, like we just mentioned the team at Pangloss.
Right.
Sitting down with Ethan, you get to hear like 50 weird metaphors and all this like uber geeky knowledge. I love Ethan. This is meant as a compliment.
We'll get him on here with Martha Stewart and Johnny Cash.
Good luck with Johnny.
Yeah.
But anyway, so strongly recommend if you're going to come out here and visit, make reservations. And also, remember when you're making reservations that Sonoma County is roughly the size of Delaware.
Right.
So this is not like you do one here in Sonoma in the morning, you pop up to Healdsburg at lunchtime, and then you go out to Sebastopol.
Just a quick, so people don't understand, there's a county of Sonoma, a valley of Sonoma, and a city of Sonoma. And they kind of get smaller and smaller. Like
I'm sure you guys get this as well. When you get the phone call and you start answering like the first 3 or 4 questions, and you're like, oh, we're talking about West County.
Exactly. You're like, you're in Sea Ranch, aren't you?
Johnson's Beat. No, wrong Sonoma. Okay, so let's unpack the rest of this, because these are great questions.
The quick asterisk for that is that you could get walk-ins, especially on the Plaza and on weekdays.
Totally.
What I recommend to people is if you're just here and you don't have reservations, don't despair.
Right.
Call some right now or walk in and say, do you have any reservations for today or right now?
Yeah.
Sometimes, even if you don't have reservations, you can buy a glass and just sit there and enjoy it, but you won't have the full tasting experience.
Right.
But
or you can buy a bottle and take it over to the Plaza, and sometimes they have those little Govino cups or something like that.
They do, and you can wave at me in my office.
There you go.
I always, as I'm typing emails and doing invoices,
go visit Tim's friends.
Someone's having fun.
Fountain.
My fountain buddies.
And also as we get out of once we get past October, then it is kind of like then you can sometimes get those walk-ins a little bit more easily.
Right.
So, all right. Well, let's keep going down Sue's list of questions here. So, being from the Midwest, direction, looking for vineyards with whites and reds. So that's most of them.
Almost. Yeah, actually, people don't know that a lot of wineries will carry both, and even if the winery doesn't themselves grow grapes to make white or reds, they can buy grapes and make it. So even if there's a Cabernet field right there, they could buy Sauvignon Blanc grapes from a farmer, have a contract, and make Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
It might not be right there,
right,
but they will have the wine available.
Totally. Yeah. There's almost all of them have some whites and some reds. There's a few, I can't even really think of any off the top of my head
just specialize like a red or a white.
But some of the, I guess the Pinot houses usually have a Chardonnay.
No, because they're Chardonnay. If they make like sparkling, they have both usually.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about some of this. Let's see, places with a good scenic views.
Oh, well, you mentioned. Oh, wait.
Well, we can talk about scenic views.
Wait, did she say that for scenic views for dinner? Where did she say that?
Yeah.
Oh, for dinner.
Yeah. Where's a good place?
Well, Salt and Stone. Salt and Stone up in Kenwood.
Yeah.
You're at the base of the mountains. You can look back on the Mayacamas Mountains, whatever we want to call them. And there's really good scenic views there. On the other side of the valley, then Tips Roadside has views in their outdoor area.
Yeah.
And you can look back there.
Yeah. Those are great spots.
If you want people watching, I actually like Talbot Family Outpost because you're on the corner of the plaza and you can look out and see. It's like a city view, but it's a quaint American style town, Spanish style town.
Yeah. Now, not restaurants, but a couple wineries that have scenic views. We've already mentioned a couple, so we won't hit on them again. But have you heard about the sunset tasting at San Giacomo?
No.
So this is Friday afternoons. They do this in the kind of like the late afternoon, evening. Okay. So it's like most of the wineries are kind of closed at like 4 or 5. This time they open up a little bit later, and you can stay there and you can buy like bottles and glasses. Oh. And they have a majestic view,
right?
Just straight west over the whatever the hills are there towards Petaluma,
right?
And so it's vineyard views, it's sunset views, and then San Giacomo's are celebrating 95 years in this valley of growing grapes, and now they've been making wines for I don't know maybe 5-6 years. Or something like that.
Yeah, and they got a beautiful new tasting room right there, right where part of the production is.
Yeah.
And their vineyard is right there.
Right.
And Steve San Giacomo is one of the San Giacomo boys. He's often around.
Yeah.
And telling me to get off the property.
Yeah.
So that's great. No, I love Steve. He's a nice guy.
Another place with just killer views is two in the Carneros region. We'll talk about Vianza Winery and Gloria Ferrer. First of all, if you're in we're thankfully the weather's cooling down. It feels kind of fallish, but if you're in an area that's still hot and you want to get a little breezy, nice wine tasting experience, both of those. So Vianza kind of features a lot of Italian wine varietals that you don't necessarily find other places.
Right.
Gloria Ferrer is your sparkling. They actually have some that you can call champagne, right? Aren't they one of the ones, or is that just Corbel?
No, I think just Corbel.
Okay. Corbel is the one that you can actually call champagne.
Because they dodged the French lawyer by a certain number of years, because they started, like these Hungarian guys started Corbel in like 1850 or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He kept showing up, and it was Mr. Corbel wearing a mustache. No.
He's not here. I don't speak French.
But Gloria Ferrer, sparkling wine.
Sparkling wine. Spanish style sparkling wines.
Yep, and they were I think the first ones that I saw here in the valley that pulled grapes in this year. That was like mid-July.
Sparkling grapes don't need as much sugar as usually, and they come in sooner.
Yeah.
3 types of grapes: Pinot, Chardonnay, and the other one.
Yeah, there's more, but those are kind of the primary ones.
Right. Okay, so that's good views, though. And they have the views, I think, at Gloria look back to the east, towards Napa.
Yeah.
At Vianza, they also look towards Napa and also the Bay wetlands.
They've kind of got like almost like a 360-degree view, or I don't know, maybe 200. I'd say 247 degree.
Unless you crawl up on the roof.
But cool spot, great, great people there, and they're one of those places. She mentioned, do they have whites and reds? Not only do they have whites and reds at Vianza, but they got things kind of all up and down. I love the places we can send. You probably get this too at the Visitors Bureau. When you can send somebody and there's going to be the taste for everybody and the price point for everybody and an experience that works for everybody. Those are cool places.
We get people who want sweet wines, and we say, well, those are called late harvest.
Yeah.
And a lot of wineries have those as well. So if you have people who are they're brand new to wine tasting and still want that sweetness that they associate with some wine.
Yeah.
That's a good place. A lot of these wineries have that option too.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Now, another place, not necessarily view, but kind of a cool hangout area that I recommend to people a lot is Kibelstad. Have you been to the new
old
wine
current,
garden? Yeah, it used to be the Shellville Grill.
Yeah.
It's now called Kibelstad Cellars and Wine Garden.
Right.
And they've just done a renovation, and it looks fabulous.
Right. That's my go-to spot for one of my coffee stops when I'm coming up from Vianza.
Oh, I didn't know
they would have at the restaurant. They would have like cold brew. It was hot.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I have secret spots.
All right. Well, that's a great spot. And another place where they're doing some really interesting things. They've got the orange wine, which isn't, you don't see that a lot. That's a white wine grape that's been treated like a red wine, so it ferments on the skins, picks up that kind of brassy orange color. And great food. They have a newer chef there.
I haven't been there for food yet.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Oh, highly recommend. Good stuff there. So that's a good place to kind of do both of those things for Sue. What other places
breweries
have food and wine? St. Francis is one that does an amazing
Well, St.
food
Francis
and wine.
actually gets listed as the top restaurant in the United States,
right?
By, I think it was Open Table. So it's like oftentimes we talk about charcuterie and caviar. Those little tastes and stuff. Some wineries aren't restaurants per se, but you get as much food and the experience. And St. Francis is definitely one of them.
Yeah. Where
you can eat there. You have to book it ahead of time.
Right.
But it is a multi-course experience.
Yeah.
And you're not like ordering like an entree. It comes paired with the wines.
Right. It's a fixed menu.
Right.
And somebody walks you through the whole thing. And a chamber member had a family come into town, and they went and did that thing. And when I asked, mom and dad from Chicago were out, and said, hey, what do you guys? What was kind of the highlight of your time here? And they did a lot of really cool things, and they had glowing comments about all the places. But that was one thing they said that really stood out. Was the food and wine tasting
I
experience.
was going to say St. Francis, VJB has a deli, Vianza has a deli.
Yeah.
There's a couple other places that have grab and go items.
Right.
And sometimes it has to do with licensing, like permitting for a restaurant or something like that. But almost everyone is access to food nearby.
Yeah, yeah. Or they have, just snacky small bites that come with it and things that kind of like play with the flavors of wine.
Right.
We went and did a tasting at Lassiter Family Winery, which is really cool. Great spot right there in Glen Ellen. And they have that, little snacky foods and things like that. But that's another one that has awesome views and a really cool location, beautiful gardens. And you can kind of see the whole Moon Mountain area from there, which is, they just acquired a new vineyard up there. So
cool spot. And the final question I think she asked was about breweries.
Yeah.
Breweries. So here in Sonoma, we have Sonoma Springs.
Yep.
And that's probably our most famous local brewery.
Yeah.
It's about, I've been corrected before about this. I once said it's just under a mile from the Plaza. And someone's like, well, it's a little bit longer than a mile. And it's like 1.2 miles.
Right.
It's not that far.
It's a short jaunt.
It's just past the, if you're staying at the El Pueblo Inn, it's not far away. They do bring food trucks in at times.
Yeah, there's a taco truck that's been there lately that is making some amazing stuff. Goes great. They have an El Valiente. It's kind of a Mexican style lager.
And, I like that one.
Boy, those two things together, that's a
good
winning
spot.
Combination.
And it's small brewery, so you can just walk in there and you can smell them brewing right there.
Totally. Yeah, they're brewing right there. They're bottling right there. They're doing it all. And it's all, the same crew that's working the front counters is also the same crew that's out and back.
It's like, I got to go back and get the mash done.
They're doing it all. So it's a true local business, and they make some great stuff. They're out there at the farmers market, so if you want to try them the next 2 Tuesdays, you can come out and
they've donated a lot for the lighting of the Plaza.
Oh, really?
So you go that, and you're not a wine drinker, you want beer, you can get Sonoma Springs often.
Yeah.
So remind me to email Derek. Hey, Derek.
And then we got around the region. We're kind of more famous for our wines here, but around Sonoma County, there's some really, highly regarded award-winning breweries too. So lots to check out.
We have the wine, beer, and spirits map. Actually, the beer, cider, and spirits map in the visitor center.
Okay.
And so, Petaluma's got some, Santa Rosa's got some, Hillsburg's got some, Windsor's got Russian River.
Yeah.
And there's all these fantastic places.
Yeah.
So.
And now we have the cider shop right here in town. Pomme. Pomme. For those of you
French
who are wondering what the heck
apple.
Tim and I are doing with the word pomme.
And
then spirits too. Hansen right out, and then Prohibition. So
if you want spirits, if you need something fermented, Sonoma Valley is for you. It's a lot of good choices out here.
Is kombucha fermented?
Kombucha is fermented.
Yeah, it's non-alcoholic.
It's actually,
or it can be alcoholic.
It's funny because there's some that you can only sell. It's like 18 though. Is it? Like I've seen the store say not available for kids under 18.
Okay, well, non-alcoholic as in if you're gonna, you really want to.
You have to drink a lot of it. You have to it's worse than that Canadian 3-2 stuff. Like you got to slam so much kombucha.
This would be fine in Utah. Valley of the Moon kombucha. That's a good. Let's talk about Lauren's little operation.
Yeah.
Valley Moon kombucha. She does goodness gracious catering, and now has just opened up a beautiful new event facility in Glen Ellen. Yep. There's another cool spot if you're talking about views, because they've got that Jack London Village.
Songbird Parlor.
And the mill is right there.
Yeah.
They've got great food. And then they're kind of back. I love that area. It's like the Garden of Eden back there. There's
the decks. I think she told me it's a fanned deck, or she had some sort of really neat description for these different levels of the decks that she shares with the mill and then with the Schermeister Winery.
Yeah.
And there's different shops out there.
Right
by Sonoma Creek. Yeah. That's what's coming down there. That defines the Sonoma Valley.
Yeah.
And you can do a tasting there. She can do venues, private events, cocktails. She's opened it up as well for like just drop-in events.
I think so. Yeah, that's going to start happening. Yeah. She's done some that are like kind of curated events that are open to the public. Mm-hmm. Most of the operation is kind of the idea is if you and me and 10 of our buddies want to do a fancy dinner, or if it's like a bachelorette
where are we going to find 10
whatever.
Friends, Mark?
Yeah, that's right. You if we cloned ourselves, paid some people to pretend to be our friends. But that building is so cool. I mean, it's literally 1800s.
Yeah,
I think maybe pre-Civil War.
Old wood building. You can walk around it and see. There's like historical photos of what it used to be. There was a mill there back when there was like probably more water coming through to operate the mill.
There's still a mill.
There's a mill.
A water
mill.
Water wheel. Is that what we call that?
You and I are from the age of steam. We don't recognize water wheels. Yeah, I like that spot. A lot of people don't know about it. Actually, Glen Ellen, that's kind of northern Glen Ellen, or southern Glen Ellen, and then you go into the big northern Glen Ellen, where surrounded by the French place.
People are going to be significantly underwhelmed with the scope of Glen Ellen when they get there, based on your definitions.
The problem with Glen
Ellen's the size of a postage stamp.
No, hold on.
Magical, however it may be.
There is a stoplight. It's not in Glen Ellen. It's in the suburban part of Glen Ellen to get into Glen Ellen.
It's in Metro Glen Ellen.
the metropolitan statistical area.
Yeah. Okay, let's stop crabbing on Glen Ellen, because Glen Ellen is really, really cool. It's
I'll have Pat Carlin come in sometime and talk about Glen Ellen.
No, I love it back there. It's secluded, it's quiet, it's historic. There's some really cool spots. Jack London Saloon by itself. I go to Jack London to do an annual pass there, because that is my go-to spot. Yeah, I love it. I mean, there's hikes.
I saw you hike like you did this huge trail once. You were insane.
And that was the day that, you were like hosting some...
all these travel writers.
Yeah. I walk by, I'm like finishing this hike, and I'm like, I recognize that voice, and it's Tim doing his song and dance.
I was doing my sermon on the mount there for all of them about Glen Ellen.
Yeah, no, I love that spot. It's a great location. There's history, there's grapevines, there's, you can do a 30-minute hike and go see the Wolf House ruins, or you can do a, 4-hour uppy-downy hike and really tucker yourself out. So
you should be a guide.
It's a highly technical term.
Mark,
my professional voyaging.
One final thing. The most important thing we have to talk about.
This is how we're going to end this. we've got people like pulling up Expedia to book a trip here, and we're going to ruin it.
No, we don't have. It's just funny.
For those of you about to book a trip, turn this off, book it, and don't listen to the rest
we don't. What I love about Sonoma, the old joke is hell is a small town, and. In this town, we've debated ducks on the plaza.
Yeah.
We've debated
leaf
a lot
blowers,
of things.
the
leaf
stinky
blowers.
Tree.
Remember that barf tree smells.
Yeah.
The barf tree.
Right.
We've talked about the possibility and the ruination that would come from a roundabout anywhere.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So today's drama...
We're handling the one out at Hannah Center pretty well, though.
People have figured it out. They really have.
And it's a really efficient thing. It works really well when people...
Roundabout, it's funny because I point out to people who talk about it. There's a city in Indiana called Carmel, in Indiana.
My good friend is from Carmel, Indiana. Yeah.
And they replaced
Shout out to Aaron May.
What's up, Aaron May?
Yeah.
The king of roundabouts.
AKA
queen.
Pops.
Pops?
He had the mannerisms of a 70-year-old man at age 19. Yeah.
Grumpy old man who was like the grandpa.
Yeah.
So they've replaced they the most roundabouts in the United States
per capita.
It's per corn ear. Yeah. Roundabouts are a big issue. Yeah. They are efficient. So the current drama from Jason Walsh, writing in the Sonoma Index Tribune, our local newspaper, is how much would it cost to replace, and should we replace the waste bins on the plaza?
Yeah.
And I know normally if you listen to KSVY, the radio station that we're in when we record this, this will be a topic.
Oh, yeah. We'll be talking about this.
For like 2 or 3 weeks.
This is going to bring everybody out.
But people have opinions. Jason Walsh, in his usual calm and measured statement, wrote this piece asking if we should spend possibly $120,000
on garbage bins.
But
and not even the bins, probably. It's just the casings, the shell in which garbage bins go.
And also, I think to make them ADA compliant, which is important, they also have to build concrete. What left out of this, you have to build concrete pads for them, and stuff like that. So it's actually not just going down to Friedman's over here and buying some garbage cans.
This isn't like the type of thing that you and I could just go do.
Or do a weekend class where people do it for us.
Late breaking news, Community Center is having the garbage bin. It's their new fundraiser. For $110,000, they're going to build them. They're going to have...
they're going to bring... Everybody can come and build a garbage bin. No, so as the question is, should we replace the waste bins on the plaza? I'm going to come out. I'm very pro replacing the waste bins because it can have 3 different types.
Yes.
And the composting, the recycling, and the garbage.
Yep.
And just like you mentioned the barf tree before, sometimes the garbage cans do get a bit aromatic.
They do, yeah. It's a special blend of a
cuvee.
Yeah, exactly.
The Plaza
a
cuvee.
Meritage. We can't call it a claret, though.
We cannot.
That's a French garbage bin.
Which is poubelle. Did you take French or Spanish in high school?
I took Spanish.
You did?
Yeah.
Has that been useful in California? I thought
French would be much more useful for podcasting about garbage bins. But no, I think it's a cool thing. So there's lots of cool stuff percolating for the Plaza. We've got the city council's working on. Let's just pause and say, as it is right now, it is really just such a wonderful community asset.
It's the gem of Sonoma. Everyone comes here. It's 8 acres. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Unlike anything else. I mean, it really separates us from some of our competitor regions. Right. The folks over the hill there. There's nothing like that. You can pick up wine at any of the wineries around here and go set up a picnic any time of day. It's legal to just at the farmers market. People are always buying a glass of wine from us and kind of like
sneaking around with
holding it underneath,
going behind the garbage bin,
a newspaper. But we're like, no, it's okay here. You can just do it. We won't get into the whole history of it, but Sonoma's a place where you can actually have wine anytime out there on the plaza. And so it's a really cool thing. But they're also taking a look at doing sort of a long-range visioning and adding more bike racks, thankfully, because there's space for all 5 bikes which it's
people
great
just
for
tie
those.
them to the trees now, and I'm like, a bike rack might be a good idea.
Right, and a bike rack that is sensible and not like artsy fartsy that only holds 2 bikes over 52 square feet.
There is the Burning Man bike rack, which is cool.
It's very cool,
but everyone thinks it's an octopus.
Right,
like, actually, it's a bike rack.
Yeah. But anyway, some cool stuff that'll be coming on the plaza.
It's part of a master plan or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So people can, I think, probably weigh in eventually, or when they're visiting, of course, just come and give me a bit of their input. People often do that.
Yeah.
They ask us questions.
Just yell into the window. That's how I usually get. Throw rocks.
Oftentimes,
dink.
I know. I'm like, who is that? And you're like, I am 17. I'm like, Mark, this is weird. You're singing Sound of Music to me. This is awkward. Mark, it's very weird.
It is weird.
Hey, Mark, you're like a fantastic guest.
Oh,
you
thanks.
come prepared.
I have fun. You're a fantastic host.
You talk about porpoises. Porpoise and garbage cans and the barf tree.
Well, and let's just bring it home here. Instead of porpoises and garbage bins. Just can't stress enough. October, November, this is the time to come to Sonoma Valley. It is a really special time here, and the excitement, when we were talking to Ned yesterday, the excitement on these farmers who've spent all year caring for these grapes and working on them on blood, sweat, and tears and money and God knows what, and now's the time that they're all coming in. There's a big changeover. Lots of new wines are being released because they got to make room for some of the new stuff that's coming in. And man, this is a great time to be here.
Good time to be here. If people want more information about the Sonoma Chamber,
SonomaChamber.org. That's easy.
SonomaChamber.org.
And that's our Facebook and Instagram handles and Twitter too. We don't do that as much, but those are
SonomaChamber.org. And if people want to hear more of your fantastic voice, how can they listen to Chamber Chat?
Well, I don't have a fantastic voice, but if you want to listen to this voice, Chamber Chat is available on ksvy.org, or if you're in the area, 91.3, and that's Thursdays at 11 o'clock. We normally have different guests come in. We do usually 2 guests per show, and we try to not only talk about the businesses, but we learn about the people behind the business. That's one of my favorite things to get into. You learn, Ramey from Sweet Scoop, she worked at like big corporations doing like corporate change management back in Denver, and you would never know that until you pause and ask these people these questions. So we have so many interesting people in the valley here that end up, it's really does bring a lot of people from all over the world with different backgrounds and things.
Good spot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, thank you so much.
You bet.
And
thanks for having me.
If anyone else is listening, go to SonomaValley.com for more information, deals, visitor guides, etc. And I don't know, you're supposed to like, comment, subscribe, or whatever it is, but tell your mom and dad to listen to this podcast, because Mark's mom listens to this podcast for sure.
For sure. And the visitor guide is coming out in pumpkin spice flavor starting on October 1st.
We will make sure of it.
It's so good.
Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening.